All right, so we're at the insulation stage of the enclosed trailer, and just wanted to go through and just discuss some of the things that I've come up with. So I've started some of the paneling here. It's best to start on the wall panels that I've found compared to the ceiling panels. Otherwise, if you don't start on the wall panels first, you're going to end up having a bit of a gap at the top, and it's difficult to install the panels all the way to the ceiling so you don't have any air gaps. The other thing that I did before insulating was just to prep and seal the inside of the trailer as best as possible. When they make these trailers at the factory, you can actually see daylight outside here where the wires come in. There's a big gap in there, and they get all sorts of dust and actually moisture in this corner. As you can see, there's some water staining there. And then along all of the bottom edges here, I've gone through and put the seal in there so that, the spray foam, so that there's no dust. Typically you won't get a lot of water in there, but you definitely get dust. And then up at the front, my trailer's a V-nose. There was a pretty decent gap in the front corners here. So I just put some spray foam on there as well, and it just helps secure the outer skin to the studs. Again, here you can see this is coming up to the V-nose as well. It's more of a curved nose. And then again, put spray foam in there to seal all those gaps up, just like that. Ran my solar panel wiring through the top underneath between the upper roof truss and the skin, and then put a protective sheeting. There was a gap in there, so it was a nice area to run the solar panel wiring. And again, you can see I've got the nice plastic loom there so that there's no chafing on the wires. So the next video that I'm going to show you is just how to install what I found is the best way to install these, so there's a nice friction fit and there's no air gaps in between. And any other areas that were not able to get insulation behind, I just did some spray foam there as well. And also the factory trailer wiring, I wrote it a little bit different. They just put it up with some electrical tape. So I just put this in here so it's nice and secure, won't go anywheres, and it won't rub anywheres at all. And that's it for now on this section. I'll just go through and on the next video, or the continuation of this video, just how I actually put the panels in and how I cut it and what I found worked the best. So for my insulation, I've gone ahead and ordered the 4x8 styrofoam insulation panels. Not everybody wants to use this. I know it's probably not there's better R-value insulation out there. This is the one I decided to go with. I'm not really afraid of the cold temperatures. It doesn't get very cold here, and so I figured this would be the best way to go. So the style of studs that I have in here, they're kind of like a U-shaped stud, and so there's actually a gap in behind them that the styrofoam insulation has to go underneath, and there's probably about 3/4 of an inch that it goes in behind. So to get that in behind on both sides, you got to first measure the full width so that it goes in behind the styrofoam insulation. And I just went and cut it in 4-foot sections so that the insulation actually goes past and down right to the floor. So there's another, 3/4 of an inch gap up there, or down there, sorry. And then up here, there's also a gap or a couple gaps up there. So to try and put a full 7-foot tall section of styrofoam insulation in there would be quite difficult. So I just use 4 feet on the bottom, and then it's almost 3 feet on top. So I got about a 7-foot tall trailer, just shy, about 3 inches short of 7 feet tall. So anyways, I cut them into one 4-foot section, and then I think it's another 33 inches to finish it off. And I'll just show you what I do to get it to fit. And it's a nice tight friction fit, both the sides and the top and the bottom. So when I'm measuring these studs, I always measure at the very bottom. So I got about 15 inches down here, and then 4 feet up. I know this is 4 feet up here, and I got about 14 and a half, 14 3/8 on the top. So another advantage of just using a 4-foot section here is that you can custom fit it so that it fits in between here nice, and so you can cut it at that angle. I know this stud is straight, and I know this stud is crooked by over 1/2 inch, about 5/8 of an inch. So I'll just make that adjustment. And with these, you can't just use cookie cutter. Every one is going to be the same. Every cut is actually a custom fit. So yeah, I'm going to go 14 3/8 here, and I'm going to go 15 inches down here on the bottom. So once you've got this cut to size, whatever size that may be, I know I had about 1/2 inch to 5/8 of an inch out of square, I just go ahead and I just score this about halfway through, and this will give me the ability to just crack it open and fold it in half. Grab this piece here. So we're putting it here. So I've scored this just a little bit in the middle. So then I'll just come up, I just crack it like that. I'll go like this here, fit it in behind the studs, and just fold it together like that, and slide it down, and we have a perfect fit. And then this gap seals itself up. All right, so we have our finished product here now. Got all the walls and the roof done, and turned out extremely well. Be a good day and a half project by the time you get it all done, because everything is custom fit, and everything is actually friction fit. Didn't have to use any adhesives whatsoever to hold everything in place, so it worked out really well. And I think that might be one of the advantages of using the styrofoam, because it does compress quite nice if it's a little bit too large for the openings. So I even went as far as to insulate between all of the studs, and worked out quite well. Nice tight snug fit. I'll be putting on vapor barrier just to make sure that there's no moisture issues, because the type of wall paneling that I'll use in here would be affected by moisture. So I'll be putting on some vapor barrier in here to make sure that there's a good seal, and also to reduce moisture, I did get a diesel heater for this, again to make sure that there's not a ton of moisture building up inside of the trailer when we're sleeping. So that's about it for now. Went really well, and really happy with the way it turned out. And again, I used some spray foam to seal up some of the gaps that were too hard to put actual foam in there. And this stud here, I'm going to be running some electrical for a water pump, and as well as a plug-in for this side.